Okay. Make sure I got everything set on my end that I don't want you guys to be able to hear the music, but I need music in the background. Okay. Okay, we are a go. It seems. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go through this really quickly. Obviously, we are on blue side game one, so let me make sure we got NSG and the other team. So looking at overall draft, I do have one major concern, is that we are fairly short range. Twitch is the exception. If he goes AP Kaisa, they outrange us, but Twitch can do damage. But we lack engage. The Tom Kench is great to counter like the Nautilus and the Sejuani, if I'm being totally honest. But Zen is not good enough to be engaged here. We should have picked, if we were doing Tom Kench bot lane with Twitch and we're doing an ADC mid, you need something that has true engage, so like the Nautilus, like the Alistar, like the Leona. So if you see a lot of in the pro games in current meta, in LCK, LPL, a lot of those regions, they are going very low CC comps, but they always have a support that has heavy CC. So, or a top laner or a jungler, at least one of those three roles always has like an exorbitant amount of crowd control. So I think you guys either need to shift and go something like the Orin top. You could do Malphite, not my favorite, but you could do. You need some type of engage Zac. Who else are engage primary champions? Any of those. You needed Loveless. You needed something like the Sejuani, like the Zac, like any of those. Obviously, they picked Poppy. I don't know the order in which picks happened, but I do think that you guys needed actual primary engage from somewhere. The easiest ones, based on your guys' composition, is going to be either is top or support. I know we can play Sejuani, but obviously that was picked, so I don't know when that was picked. So that would be my opinion there, guys. Is I do think that this draft was a little scuffed. I just don't think we have the tools to do what we want. They also got Poppy into the Poppy pick into Gwen, which I think is a good matchup for Poppy, just because she's got those knockups and stuff like that. So it's a pretty good counter, but Gwen also has the tools to be able to beat Poppy. So I don't think it's like, oh man, the end of the world here. Yeah, that's too deep. You guys are. There's a reason. So you can't do this. There's a couple times we've done something like this. You can't walk that deep unless you have. If you want to get a ward here, you need the entire team to come. So Twitch can't be down here. Tom Kench can't be down here. It needs to be 5-man stack running in, dropping here. Once they contest, really what you do is you don't see a lot of people drop it here. That's just it's too risky, and it looks like you guys may die from going too deep. Yeah, you just drop it here. All you need, the whole goal of this is to see the Raptor camp so that they path through it, because they're not. And when they path through it, so you can drop it right here. It doesn't have to be pushed that far. I think that was a misplay. I think when they contested, right here, this is fine. We're contesting. You can't just keep going like this. You drop the ward right here, like right here. You don't push so far here. That's just way too deep. Yeah, we just die for it. So yeah, so that ward is not necessary. That was a bad ward. That is not good. That is an incredibly unfortunate start. Once you die, let's see, how do they? Do you see it get warded? Did we miss that? I mean, it looks like you saw it. You just have to reset. You can't. You shouldn't. This is illegal. What you do. Just chilling on it like that. Like you saw it warded. Like this is super illegal. And then you stay. It's better for you to just take the L and go bot lane here. They know you have a ward here. Man, I'm salivating as the top laner here. This is a really bad take. Either that or you need to call Gwen to come help you. What she does, but she's TPing, so it's really late. So yeah, I think that was just multiple misplays for that. We just didn't need to do what we did. I mean, that's really what it was. There was zero reason to do what we did. That was a good trade. That was really good on Griffin Taddy right there to trade on the Nautilus that hard. That was fantastic. You also have to think too. So when you guys invade like that deep, so when you guys are trying to get vision, one thing you guys need to take into consideration is which champions are stronger at level 1. And they have a Sejuani and a Nautilus and a Poppy. I'm going to say they put out way more damage than all of our champions at level 1. Wow. That is... How did you... Are you just taking really bad trades? Let's look. So I know level 1 sucked. Oh, there's... you shouldn't take that trade. It's just not respecting what the Poppy does. That was a good roll to get down there. But yeah, there's no reason you should die to a Poppy who went tier first item. I think that's just you. I think it's just not trading properly and understanding who wins at certain levels. I do think we forced the Zeri pick, and I mean, I don't think Zeri's going to be as good mid anymore after all the nerfs and changes to a bunch of the champions. I could be wrong on Zeri, but most of the AD champions, I think Lucian's the exception, and Akshan, who's always a laner anyways. I don't think Zeri is worth picking mid this patch. Could be wrong. It's too early in the patch for me to say that with any, like guarantee or anything like that. I don't know if we're not communicating roam timers and things like that. We just gotta be communicating on when they can move. That was a really good move by them. Knowing where they're at, just talking a little bit more. Obviously, I'm not in the comms, so it's a little thing there. Yeah, you can just chill. You're fine to just chill and let that wave crash. It sucks that she is just out trading us hard, though. I mean, if I'm her, I'd dive you here. Yeah. This game is looking rough. See, and this is where we just don't have any true form of crowd control. Which, I mean, like Kaisa, you want crowd control. Vlad, like they're two carries. They have two primary carries here. Obviously, Poppy gets strong and she becomes a carry, but they have two primary carries. They have Vladimir and they have Kaisa, who you need crowd control for. Like Vlad does so well in your guys' comp because it's shorter range and you guys just don't have a lot of crowd control. I mean, your crowd control is literally a 3 auto knockup that Vlad can dodge and Kaisa can dodge by going invisible temporarily, and Tom Kench is a knockup that is super easy to dodge for both Vlad and Kaisa. It's just I feel like this comp is just not. We have no forms of true crowd control, which really just makes it hard to play. And I think that's something we need to get back to doing is drafting Ornn, Leona, Sejuani, Zach. Like we need to do that. And I know Zach may not have been like, oh man, there's a Poppy. Again, I don't know which order things were picked, but It's rough. And I also think that we need to start going back to, I think, in the last couple of drafts, we kind of talked about it, like, oh, let's play meta stuff. And I just don't think that's as important as we are making it out to be. I think meta is important. There is things that are good. And, like, I have the same problem where I'm like, oh, yeah, meta, let's do that. Let's draft this. Let's do this. And we need to realize that we're at this elo and at our top strength on specific champions. So Taddy on Jinx, Pity on Renekton and TF. Like, we just need to be focused on some of those champions a little bit more. And sometimes we can't do, like, I'm not going to say every champion, we only pick comfort, because that just won't work. But I do think it's something we need to do a little bit more of. I think that's an overforce, so I don't think you should be trading there. I think that's something you need to understand a little bit better, Pity, is you're down 2 levels. You can't take those trades. Like, trades you would normally take if it were an even lane, yeah, that's great, but being down 2 levels, yeah, item advantage at the current moment is about even. So item-wise, you're about even, not a huge advantage, but the levels are so big at this stage of the game. I think we could have created a freeze out of that bot lane. I think that you guys need to work on like this wave. This is so easy for you guys to freeze this. Oh, that is such an easy freeze. Nice kill. I don't like that you guys swapped lanes. I don't like this call. I don't know if that was actually the call or not. I gotta see the rotation because I was paying attention to. If it's just a move to catch the wave, that's fine. But Gwen is already down so much that you need Zeri in a spot to actually affect the map more. Putting the Zeri against the Fed person makes her now down 1,000k gold, and makes it so she can't influence the map as well from top. So I hope that you guys did not swap permanently. I think it's a really bad call if you guys did swap permanently. It was a good punish. Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, a lot of this game is going to be racked up to that early game, and I think our comp is not very good. I just don't like our composition at all. I think it just feels very solo queuey. It doesn't feel like we have any team cohesion with what we want to do. I actually like, this is funny, all things considered, I actually like the Gwen and the Xin Zhao together. I think they create really natural space together and do a really good job simulating what a tank should be doing with the ult and the W. But I don't love the Zeri mid this patch. I don't love that we have 0cc. I just think we need to some more just easy to execute comps. Like, this comp can, in theory, be okay. It's just an extremely difficult one to pull off. So, yeah, that's some changes. I would swap out Zeri for something else. I would swap top out for something else, or jungle, or support. Again, I don't know the order in which item or what champions were picked. Let me look at Kesa. I do think that we could have gone if we first picked Twitch. I think there are better first picks. If we first pick Zeri, okay, we're flexing it or whatever, but I don't love that pick either. Like I said, I don't think it's a good flex pick anymore. I think Draven is a better, like, right now. MF is probably the best one. Draven I wouldn't blind. Jinx is obviously good. Little nerfed, but still good. Jhin is really good. I think Jhin is good. Twitch isn't bad. Actually, Twitch might not be bad now. So Twitch might be the blind pick. I need to play more with the ADC meta currently, but Jhin and MF seem to be the best ones. Ashe is pretty good, and then Jinx are all kind of the ones I think that are the highest tier. Jinx is nerfed a little bit, so she has some harder matchups. Some of those matchups, like the MF and the Jhin, I think really abuse her now. So I think that may be the best thing to move to is still play Jinx, but Misfortune and Jhin. And maybe Ashe too. So those are some of the ones that I'm looking at in the current on the current patch. There's some other ones. I think win rates don't say everything, but I do think win rates mean something and help you determine power. Kog'Maw is another one that I think might be up there. You just need the right stuff with him. Great dive. That was good. That was good. God, that really hurts me as a Vlad player. And we're not out of it at the moment. I mean, almost the entire elite has got to be top, right? They're up 4K gold, and literally the entire elite is up top. Our ADC is up, our mid is tied, our jungle is down slightly, and our support's down slightly. So, like, when I say slightly, I mean really slightly. So we're not in a terrible spot. We just got to be careful in these fights. We really got to be cognizant of where the Gwen is. What we should be doing is sticking. I mean, Gwen needs to be in side lanes, and we need to avoid fighting. We got first Drake. That's just a little unlucky. That's a good timing. I don't know if you can walk that way. Oh, Poppy. Yeah, Gwen just needs to. Oh, just not respecting. Oh yeah, I mean, we're kind of just chain dying for no reason there. I think Zeri shouldn't have died. We kind of walked up too close. We just need to. I think when the game starts going poorly, we kind of tend to get locked in. We need to just settle down a little bit. We kind of let the game snowball because we get tilted. We gotta just chill. This is a rough one though. I will give you. Well, this is a rough one. Yeah, see, they just have the crowd control to be able to do stuff. And then we're taking fights. We can't take these fights around Poppy. We literally cannot fight around Poppy right now. We have to avoid fights at all cost. So I think we're just disrespecting with the pathways we're taking and contesting and stuff. Like we just can't contest this as Griff. And then Twitch is like, you're just in a really bad spot. That's not necessarily your fault, but like, this is super random. Oh, we FF'd? I don't like that. Okay. I think a couple things. I don't like that we FF'd. I understand that we're probably tilted and the game was rough, but I think that we need to. It's good to play from behind because I think that's something you guys really struggle with. I think you guys have a hard time playing from behind. So I think, but going back, I think there's a couple different things that were the issue. If this thing will load. Couple things. I dislike the draft. I think the draft is a really big struggle. I think that we just don't have crowd control. I also don't like this draft as much. But I'll get into that here in a second. So last game, that level, there's a couple issues. I say the primary issues are one, the draft, lack of crowd control, on what we're trying to do. Two is that level 1 and understanding what happens at level 1 and where we actually are trying to get that deep vision, and how you get deep vision. You can send 4, but you can't, or 3, but how far you went, you just cannot do that deep. Especially if someone contests you. If no one contests you, you can play it a little slow and walk up that far. But even then, I wouldn't ever go that deep trying to contest vision. A lot of times, when you just need to drop it right here. It doesn't need to go as deep as you guys had it. Lack of CC, and then we really need to work on. I think we have a tendency to get snowballed on. If we make some bad plays early, we overforce everything. We overforce trades, we overforce all these different things, and it leads to us being snowballed on. Now,